Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Last class we learnt about an equipotential surface. Hope you remember equipotential surface. Now it is a surface at which all the potential remain the same. Okay. Now with that concept in mind, today we are entering into the next topic, which is relation between electric field and potential. So relation between electric field, field in the sense it is electric field and electric potential. It is a very small topic, children, but the formula which we are going to arrive at is very important. Okay, this is used in solving many problems, and this formula is helpful in discussing, in analyzing various other concepts also. So please be very clear in understanding. Okay, so let us consider two equipotential surfaces. Now look at this diagram. There are two equipotential surfaces. One is this surface A, the other one is surface B. And here the potential at A is V and the potential at B is V plus del V. Okay, so hope you are able to understand the difference. It is a three-dimensional picture. The potential at A is V, the potential at B is V plus del V, and consider a point P here. Okay, this point P is at B. Now this point P is at a distance of dou L, that is a very small distance from the surface A. Okay, again I repeat, the point P is on the surface B, which is at a distance of dou L from the surface A. Okay, ma? Now electric field is radially outward. Look at this direction of electric field, it is outward here. There is an electric field, and the potential as far as this surface A is concerned, it is V. At this surface it is V plus del V. Okay. Now I am going to consider a positive charge here, children. Okay. Now I am going to move this positive charge which is at P from P to A. Okay, look at the explanation again. A positive charge is kept at P. I am going to do, what work I am going to do is I am going to move this charge which is here from here to A. Now what I am going to do? I am going to do a work which is against the electric force. Right now the electric field is again in this direction. So what is the work done here? Work done is, of course you know the formula for work done, which is force into perpendicular distance. The force here is nothing but the electric field into what is the distance? It is dl. Yes or no? Okay. Now we also have read that work done is nothing but what? The potential difference, PD. Okay, work done is equal to potential difference. Now how the work is done? The work is done against the electric force. So I will equate these two. So it is E dl equal to, now what is the potential difference? It is the work done to move a charge between 2 points P and A. So final point is I am reaching the point V, okay, which is the potential at A, minus what is the potential at B? It is V plus dou V. Is it clear? Is it clear? So work done, E dl is equal to V minus V plus del V. Now simplify this. So you have E dou L equal to V minus V minus dou V. So here this gets cancelled. So here I can write E is equal to minus dou V by dou L. Very small relation, derivation part of it, but this is considered to be very important. E is equal to minus del V, I mean dou V by dou L, which is nothing but here there is a negative sign. So negative sign indicates that the potential is decreasing with respect to the distance, right? Now here I can also write this equation as del V. Actually the value of del V can be written as mod of the value of del V. So I can write this equation as E is equal to plus dou V by dou L according with this value. So which means we are going to arrive at two very important conclusions regarding this. One is, now what is the direction of electric field with respect to the potential? Okay, the potential, what is happening to the potential here is, it says that the potential decreases in the direction of electric field. Okay, that is why you have a negative sign. That is the first point. That is, electric field is in the direction where the potential keeps on decreasing. Suppose let us consider a uniform electric field. Okay, now we were discussing about equipotential surfaces for a uniform electric field. Now it was, we decided, we arrived at the potential surface are nothing but planes like this. Now the potential at this plane, now this is the direction of electric field. So potential at this, suppose let us consider this to be 100 volt. Now this will be 80 volt. Again, when you consider a plane in the direction, know that this potential keeps on decreasing in the direction of electric field. That is why you have a negative sign here. E is equal to minus dou V by dou L, which means the potential keeps on decreasing in the direction of electric field. That is one point you are learning from this. The second point is, what is the magnitude of the electric field? Its magnitude is given by, now look at the formula. What is dou V? Dou V is nothing but change in potential. Now per unit displacement. Per unit displacement, what is change in the negative, what is the change in the potential is nothing but electric field. Now this is also said as negative potential gradient. So electric field is equal to the negative potential gradient. Gradient is with respect to unit displacement. Potential is dou V, dou L is the displacement. So the electric field value is given by the change in the magnitude of potential per unit displacement. Now this is normal to the equipotential surface. Okay, so you also called as electric field is nothing but to be the negative potential gradient. Now the unit for this is, of course, again here it is dou V, which is change in potential. Dou L is the change in length. So potential is measured in volt and here it is meter. So volt per meter is also the unit for electric field. We also know the unit for electric field as we have one more formula. What is the unit for electric field? Force per unit charge, which is Newton per Coulomb, right? Or otherwise here I can also write as volt per meter, which is also the unit for electric field. Okay, is it clear, children? So go through this concept. Next we are moving on to a very important topic, potential energy of a system of charges. Now I wanted you to recall what is the electric potential due to a unit charge. I don't know how far you are thorough with the previous topics. Now this is the formula for electric potential due to a point charge. Remember this formula, only then you will be able to understand what I am going to teach now. Okay, so let us start this. Now we'll start with very simple process. Okay, now let us consider 2 points. Let me explain you with the diagram so that it will reach you very fast. Okay, so A and B. I'm going to consider 2 points here, one at A and one at B. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I am going to bring a charge. Let us assume the charge is at infinity. Okay, let the name of the charge be Q1. So I'm going to bring a charge Q1 from infinity. Now where am I going to bring the charge? I'm going to bring the charge to this point A. Okay, so I'm going to bring a charge from infinity to point A. So I brought the charge Q1 from infinity to A, right? This Q1 is a positive charge. Now there is an electric field that is electric field existing due to charge Q1, and let me take another point B. Now what is the potential at B? Potential at B can be given as, there will be a potential created due to this charge Q1. So potential at B is given as Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught R. R is the distance between these two points A and B. Yes or no? So what is the potential at B now? Potential at B is Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Yes. Now this potential at B is due to the charge Q1 which is at A. Yes or no? Yes or no? So imagine a test charge to be here. And what is the potential? The potential at B can be given as Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is what we read long back. And we arrived at the formula for potential as B is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Right? Now what I am going to do is, I am going to bring a charge, another charge Q2 from infinity. Okay. Now where I am bringing this charge? I am going to bring the charge Q2 at B, which is from infinity. So first case, when I brought the charge Q1 from infinity, I did not do any work because no electric field, nothing is there. So no work is done. So it is very easy for me to bring a charge Q1 from infinity to a point A. Okay, so no work done. But now what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring another charge Q2, which is also from infinity, and I'm going to bring that charge Q2 to the point B. Now in that point B, there is already a potential due to Q1. So what is the work done in bringing the charge Q2 from infinity to B is, work done is, what is electric potential there? Q there into the charge Q. So the work done on Q2 is, what I will write? It is Q2 equal to, what is the potential? The potential at Q2 is Q1 4 pi epsilon naught R into the charge. Now we know the formula for potential as V is equal to W by Q. Yes or no? Or now here what is W? W is, so what is the work done? Work done is the potential into the charge. What is the potential? The potential is Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught R into, what is the charge present there? Q2. Are you able to understand now? So this is the work done to bring a charge Q2 from infinity to the point P, which is at a potential of Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Now this is with respect to a system of two charges. Okay. Now in this case, what did I do? First, I took 2 points. Then I brought charge Q1 from infinity to A. No work done. There is a potential that is created at B, which is given as VB is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Now I bring another charge from infinity to the point B. The name of the charge is Q2. Now what is the work done now? The work done is given as V into Q, which is Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught R into Q2. Right? Now this will be the same when I first bring the charge Q2 from infinity to B, and again bringing a charge from Q1 to infinity to A. The same value I will be getting, whether it is between Q1 and Q2 or between Q2 and Q1, it will be the same. There is no change. Imagine now I take a point B I bring Q2 from infinity to B, where you will not have Q1. So in that case, no work done. So I will have the potential at A to be Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Now I bring this Q1 from infinity. So what is the work done now? Which is given as Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Because we talk about work done, because we talk about conservative force. Conservative force as such, we know that it is independent of the path. So whether it is from A and B or B and A, the work done will be the same. Okay, now here, if the charges Q1, Q2 is going to be greater than 0, that is, work done is positive. Okay, now here electrostatic force of repulsion here. So a positive work is done if Q1, Q2 is greater than 1. Greater than 0. If the value of Q1, Q2 to be greater than 0, work done is positive. Okay, if Q1, Q2 is less than 0, then you have work done negative. That is work done against the electric force. Work done will be positive if Q1, Q2 greater than 0. Work done will be negative if Q1, Q2 less than 0. Now this is with respect, so what is the potential energy now? Potential energy due to a system of charges, here it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. You have Q1, Q2 by R12. So this is the potential energy. Yes or no? This is with respect to two charges. Okay ma? Q1, sorry. Here I should have Q1, Q2. Okay? Are you able to understand? This is with respect to two charges. Now look at your diagram. Now I am entering into your textbook diagram. Here this is the diagram. Here we are talking about three charges. I am considering Q1, I am considering Q2, I am considering Q3. Due to a system of charges, what will be the potential? Okay, so I need to calculate the potential energy of a system of three charges. Now the three charges are located at three different points, R1, R2, R3 respectively. So what is the potential or what is the work done? Okay, when I wanted to bring charge Q1 from infinity, no work is done. Okay, now I am going to bring charge Q2 from infinity. Now this time I will have Q2 V1 with respect to R2 will be, what will be the formula children? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. I have Q1, Q2 by R12. Yes or no? Yes or no? So the potential will be this. Right? Next. What is the work done in bringing charge Q3 from infinity? I will add, now this is with respect to two system of charges. When it is coming to the next, I will have Q3, I have V12 with respect to R3, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. I have Q1, Q3 by R13 plus I have Q1, here I have Q2, Q3 by R23. So due to system of charge, the potential energy will be the sum of it. So U is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. When you add all the potentials due to two charges, when you consider, you will have the system of charges. So again I am telling you, now whether it is from, you are bringing the charge from infinity to Q1, whether you are bringing the charge from infinity to Q3, whether you are bringing the charge from infinity to Q2, the work done will have the same value or the energy will be the same, because the path that is followed here is independent, because we talk about conservative force here. Okay, so this is a very easy topic and also very important topic. Two topics whatever we discuss, one is relation between electric field and potential, the second one is potential energy due to a system of charges, which is considered to be very important children. Okay, So with this in mind, we are going to discuss one problem, which is a very simple problem. Let me read the problem. A spherical conductor of radius 12 centimeter. So R is 12 centimeter, or I can also write it as 0.2 meter. Then charge is given as Q is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 7 coulomb. Okay, distributed uniformly on its surface. What is the electric field inside the sphere? So inside the sphere, electric field, what will be the electric field inside the sphere? Inside the sphere, electric field is 0. Okay, because this is because the charge will be only on the outer surface of the spherical conductor. So charges inside will not be there. So electric field is 0. So the first answer is ready. Now second one. Second one is just outside the sphere. Outside the sphere means on the surface of the sphere, R will be 0.12 meter, right? So what is the formula for electric field? Electric field is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 power 9 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 7 divided by 12 centimeter. When I convert, it is 0.12 R square. So it should be square. So when I simplify, I will have the value to be 10 power 5, and you are determining the value of electric field. So it is Newton per coulomb. This is the answer for the second case. Right? Now here, the third is at a point 18 centimeter from the center. So I have R value to be 18 centimeter, or simply 0.18 meter. Again same formula, E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q by R square. So 9 into 10 power 9. Again the charge is the same, 1.6 into 10 power minus 7 divided by, what is the value here? Instead of 0.12, we'll substitute 0.18 square. So when you simplify, the answer will be 4.44 into 10 power 4 Newton per coulomb. Now I want you to work out the steps and arrive at the answer. Okay, this is a very important sum, simple problem. It is there already in your exercise. So I am solving the sum side by side, so that you will just file it up and keep it. We'll discuss almost all the problems in the book back also. So go through this topic today. Okay, let us continue with the next topic, which is potential energy. Related to potential energy only, we'll continue tomorrow, children.